My name is Christopher Chacon. I'm an anomalist, parapsychological researcher, and paranormal expert. For the most part, what I do is I'm brought out to locations that are dealing with some kind of phenomena, usually brought out by a private individual. It could be a medical doctor, academia, someone with a university, sometimes law enforcement or government, and they're dealing with some kind of phenomenon and they want me to come in to assess it or consult on what this phenomena could be. I was recruited by a scientific group, a scientific think tank, as it were, who specialize in an area called anomalistics. And they trained me specifically as an anomalist with this group of scientists to investigate anomalies all over the world. And when I say anomalies, I'm referred to, again, everything under the umbrella of the paranormal supernatural. Everything from haunts, poltergeist, demonic possessions, strange creatures, UFOs, witchcraft, all those elements. We employed a scientific method to try to investigate these things and understand them better. A haunting and a poltergeist was separated between basically the dynamics of how they function. A haunting is usually connected to a location, a physical place, an object. The haunting usually stays within those domains of that physical, whether it be a domain or a specific object. The poltergeist is different in that it's more kinetic. It more interacts with the environment. Sometimes it even follows behind a specific person. And these are concepts that were basically embraced by the parapsychological community early on. Most people think a poltergeist is a incorporeal spirit, a person who's passed away, who's taken on a very volatile form in the environment. But another type of poltergeist, which is very common in the parapsychological community, is something that refers to RSPK, which stands for recurrent spontaneous psychokinesis. And the theory is that stresses in an agent or person in the environment, they are somehow producing this psychokinetic ability. And it's happening subconsciously, so they're not even aware of it. And this ability affects the environment or objects in the room. It can make the room colder. They could be typing on a computer stressed out and suddenly the whole computer goes black. They put their keys one place and suddenly the keys are gone, as if they've flown someplace else. And in some cases, the phenomena gets so volatile that it takes on a physical form and actually has attacked people in the environment themselves. Quite often, the individuals who are most affected by poltergeist phenomena seem to be children, pre-adolescent children, very, very little children, and women, actually. A lot of theories have to do with that these phenomena are emotionally based, and they're more in touch with emotion. They're able to sense things a little differently. There's a biological element that's introduced there. But children specifically seem to have a more connection sometimes to these events because they're more open to the possibility of things. They don't know yet that what the laws of gravity are or the laws of physics are. So when something happens, oh, it's perfectly normal. There have been many cases we've investigated where I'm looking at a child watching an event happen, and to us, clearly the event is impossible. You know, gravity is there. Things are not by themselves supposed to move, flip over. And to the child, you know, they giggle and laugh because, wow, that's pretty neat. They don't understand the fact that there's laws of physics there. You have to follow a scientific protocol to differentiate, okay, is it this, or this? And you want to do that as carefully as possible without getting injured. But yeah, other than nose broken twice, chipped teeth, hair's been burned off 5 or 6 times, arm broken, ribs been broken, asphyxiated about 7 times. Yeah, you know, it's kind of the part of the process when I was actually more or less the process when I became an anomalist and we were put into extremely volatile situations. Now, there was a case I had in the San Fernando Valley where a family moved into their home and immediately they began to experience a variety of different type of activity. Little things would move, like the toilet paper roll would suddenly unroll itself, completely unroll itself for no explanation for it. Doors and windows, again, would open and shut very slightly, even though they would lock everything. As the weeks went by, the phenomena got worse and worse, where they began to hear sounds and whispers. At one point, they actually heard as if it was several whispers, multiple whispers, right behind the person's ear, as if someone was talking to them. this was enough to freak out the family members significantly, till at one point the kids were sitting in front of the fireplace, and the fire in the fireplace, according to the children, took on almost a morphine, like a face type of appearance, and actually swept out toward them. The children had second-degree burns on the front of them.